Very avid.
That's for me.
Okay. I'm here with USA Wrestling. Rulon Gardner, our 2000 Olympic champion, bronze medalist from 2004, agreed to meet with me today. And so on behalf of Rulon, we've set up this opportunity. He'd like to say a small statement or talk a little bit before he takes any questions. We're not going to be here a super long time. Rulon would rather, if he's going to have more in-depth conversations, do it at a later date, you know, individually with different journalists and things of that sort. He's also requested that National Coach Steve Frazier join us to be available to talk a little bit about his training journey and the things that brought him to, you know, come to the Olympic trials to pursue another Olympic dream. So that said, I'd like to introduce Rulon Gardner and just ask him to let you know his thoughts about what went on with his quest to come here and wrestle at the Olympic trials. Rulon?
Well, thank you everybody for coming. Isn't quite the circumstances I wanted to be here under, but my journey pretty well I think started 2 years ago when I tried out for The Biggest Loser and I got on the TV show, and that's where my competitive fire kind of started reigniting itself. And as I left the show last year, I realized that I had more inside of me than just losing the weight and being on The Biggest Loser and trying to win the money of the TV show. But for me, it ultimately came back, and the reason I got on the show and the reason I got back into wrestling was to get my health back. And that was probably one of the most important things, because for me, I felt that I was probably the healthiest when I was back wrestling, back, you know, even though 264 is a smaller weight class, but back when I was wrestling, that's when I was the healthiest, the happiest. It's when I had a lot of positive in my life. And for me, it isn't just about, you know, being a wrestler. It's about going out and, I think, being a healthier person. And that's the journey I've been on the last few years. And I'm pleased to tell you today that I'm healthy. And I know yesterday was a tough day for me. When I was younger, I maybe have pushed myself. I got to a point yesterday where I realized it probably wasn't advantageous to continue pushing myself. At the end of the day, I was within 5 pounds of making the Olympic 264.5-pound weigh-in number. And being within 5 pounds, I felt a little bit disappointed, but my body got to a point where it told me it's time that you stop pushing yourself. And 8 years ago, I was on the exact same path as I was this trip, but I think the 8 years removed and not being, you know, weighed in numerous times like I had in the past, I think that affected my body, and ultimately, you know, my body told me that it wasn't right yesterday, and at that point I decided to stop. And for me, you know, I could have hurt myself, but it isn't about making the Olympic team. That was only a byproduct, and that's part of me getting healthy. And just being here, being on the stage, and being part of USA Wrestling, being part of this great organization, having a chance to train for the Olympic team has been something that's truly special. And I think my age hopefully has made me wiser and smarter, and in my choices from here to the future, I want to make better choices. And I think this is the reason that I put the last 2 years of my life on hold, to be able to compete here and to succeed and reach my goal, and that's to be healthy. And I have my health back, and that's what matters.